to know the end of it, then don't watch this review, because I'm going to be giving an in-depth review of all the characters. I'm going to be talking about the backstory. I'm going to be talking about a possible setup for another movie, possible X-Man 5, in which we might even see another origin of X-Man as he continues to change and progress. Because as we'll see, this character continually has new origins, continually has new beginnings. There's a progression. Remember, in the first one, in X-Man 1, X-Man formed a team with Professor X-Man. And they called this team the X-Men because, if you'll notice the symbol of X-Man is the X, and that's what he's doing right here. There's an X being formed right there. X-Man always forms the sign of the X because he's X-Man. And that's why in the first movie, the X-Men take the sign of the X because that's X-Man's sign, is the sign of the X. And we'll see that as a recurring theme in all four of the movies, is that sign of the X. So, in the second movie, there's a progression of the character from team founder to team leader. As he leads the team to battle another team of, it's like a counter team to the X-Men, those that are following X-Man. Only these people are following a character named Stryker. And this character is named Stryker because he strikes. He attacks people. And so the main villain in X-Men 2 is this character named Stryker, who essentially strikes without warning. And he does this with his own team. And for a while, in the second one even, Laser Eye goes and turns to follow Stryker. And he becomes the enemy, if you will, for a short time. And then by the end of the movie, he comes back, and then we see that Stryker, at the end, is receiving his just desserts, if you will, his reward. Justice is done. But now remember, there's another character here, and that's X-Man. And this is the main character in all of the movies. That's why these movies are called X-Man 1, X-Man 2, X-Man 3, and now finally X-Man 4, codename Wolverine, Origin of X-Man. But remember, this is the main thing that you're going to remember about all these movies is the sign of the X right there. And in most of the movies that you see, that you watch with X-Man, that we've seen, all four of them, he is constantly changing. There's always an origin to this character. There's always a new origin. And this one, remember the second one, he became a leader. The first one, he was the founder, and the second one, he was the leader. In the third one, remember, in the third one, the main villain, or the main source of conflict for X-Man, was Firestar. And if you will remember, now here's another thing about this character that you know. And remember, we're giving backstory on the character and the other characters that we'll see again supporting the story and the development, if you will, the new origin, if you will, yet another origin of X-Man, Codename Wolverine, which is why the movie's called Codename Wolverine, Origin of X-Man. Because we're seeing yet another development of X-Man. But remember, in the third X-Man movie, the person that he was actually closest to, which was Firestar, because remember in the first one, in the second one, they were building this kind of a